All right, it's been a little while since I made a video, but we got a winter storm. We got rain, followed by a layer of sleet, followed by a layer of snow. And the wind chill is about 9 degrees yesterday, so it's pretty icy and snowy outside. So it's time to go out for a little bit of a drive, maybe do some ice drifting, and see what the conditions are like as far as what I can do on the race cart. So let's get to it. Well, let the choke for a little bit, get all extra fuel she needs. Full brakes. No traction. brakes, by the way. Woo! Oh. I gotta throw water everywhere. Oh. Water all over. See how this goes. So that was a slip and slide. It is a solid layer of ice on the street now. Like I said, we got rain, sleet, then snow, and 9-degree wind chill. So it's just complete ice. And while I was out there, the sun came out and some of it started turning into slush. So I added more water into the equation, and it was just no traction to be found at all, especially on slicks with a considerable amount of power. So that was interesting. First experience ice driving, and yeah, don't do it with slicks. Just don't, please. Don't try it at home. But since it's been a while since I posted a video, I figured I should give a little project update. There is a little bit that I have coming along, although it's been interrupted by the weather. So, not much has changed with the Green Monster other than it being covered in water and ice and slush now. But it runs reliably, and it's just kind of my general, I guess you could say, daily driver, except of course I don't use it for stuff. It's just the one I drive more. The hothead I'm using as a bit of a test bed slash part source, which sounds terrible, but what's happening here with the head studs, these are obviously not in, but this ties in to my main project right here, which is the Raptor. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out which head bolts I want to use, whether I want to use those studs or if I want to use these old head bolts off the hot head. These have the factor of possibly being more metal fatigued. If it could be a problem with this, I'm not sure how old this is and how many times these bolts have been removed and replaced. So I'm not sure if I want to use those, or the problem I encountered with the studs is that they go too deep into the block and they don't stop. So by the time I put the studs all the way in, they're flush with the top of the head. So that's obviously not going to work because I can't fasten down the head like that. So I'm thinking I'll use the hot head bolts on these and then weld nuts onto the studs and use them for the hot head. Other than that, I've got the crankshaft and arc rod here, the Wiseco piston. I have the cup and pawl type starter here. This is going to be much lower maintenance than the Sprag clutch that the hothead has, especially at the very high RPMs that this engine will reach. So that should be a lot better in that regard. Old Flowjet is not being used right now. Got the billet flywheel cleaned up a bit. This is going to go onto the Raptor. I've got the old ignition coil that's going to be put on here. I'm working on cleaning up the block. I need to finish removing the gasket here. I just put this on to keep gunk from getting into the crankcase. But yeah, otherwise I'm more or less just waiting for the cold weather to end. That way I can assemble this without having to worry about the clearances being all weird. Because if I assemble it in freezing temperatures, the clearances are going to change a bit when it heats up. So I'd really rather not take that risk. And so whenever this heats up, when the weather heats up outside, then I will finish assembling this Raptor. I'm pretty sure I have everything I need for it. I will still have to figure out a gas tank solution for this on the Green Monster, because right now The only gas tank it has is mounted on the Predator. So that will take some creativity, but we should have a first start within at least a month, if not a week. And yeah, stay tuned for that, for updates on this bad boy, and I'll see you next time.